I am Danica, and I'm mourning my loss. I couldn't contain the heaviness in my heart. I have been crying for 3 days now. My eyes are so swollen and my body is so weak. In just a few hours, I will be sending my husband to his last destination. Today is his funeral, and I could not fathom that I would live to see my husband die and be buried in his grave. He died due to cancer, and I could truly say that he was a fighter. He fought so hard against the illness, and until his last breath, he told me he wants to live. But the disease took his life. It took him away from me. I was so devastated. I stood by his side for 2 years, and both of us did our best to make his condition better. But I guess all of this is meant to happen. I loved my husband and I always will. I'll never forget him. My eyes couldn't stop welling the tears. Every time I picture our happy moments together, the dates, giggles, conversations, kisses, and hugs, all of these things break my heart into million pieces. I don't know how to live in this world without him. I am so lost. Aside from that, he left me with a company to take over, and he wasn't able to prepare me for this moment when I'll be the one taking control of the company, because who would have thought that he will leave this world earlier? On a brighter note, my husband didn't leave me empty-handed, because right before he confined himself in the hospital, he wrote his last testament and declared that all of his possessions, assets, and properties will be transferred to me. But these material things cannot suffice my longing for him. As soon as we arrived at the ceremony, my heart sank. I could not believe that I have to bury my husband today. The funeral rites, it was filled with somber mourners paying their respects. And as a grieving widow, I stood by her husband's casket, her eyes red from whining. I held its edge so tightly. I don't want to let him go. Friends and family surround me, offering words of consolation. My relatives and friends tried their best to comfort me by hugging me, even making me feel better by giving me words of encouragement as well. After the mass, my husband was lowered to the ground, and every time it was put down, my body couldn't take it and I just cried my heart out. As soon as my husband was finally buried, everyone showed their sympathy. One of my closest friends came to me and gave me the tightest hugs. Danica, I'm so sorry for your loss. John was a wonderful man, and he'll be dearly missed. I'm so proud of you for being such a lovely and loyal wife. My tears fell harder as I heard the word wife. I would never be called the same way again by my husband. I would never hear him speak to me again. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you was the only thing I could say. I am just so grateful for all the people that paid their condolences and showed up for me, especially during one of the lowest moments of my life. We're here for you, Sarah. Lean on us whenever you need. We'll get through this together. Another friend of mine approached me and gave me a tight hug as well. I nodded as my gratitude for her genuine concern was evident. Despite the tragic feeling inside my heart, the kindness and love that I have been receiving feel like a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness. My cousin Louise also showed me her sympathy. Danica, if there is anything we can do, anything at all, just let us know. We are a family and will support you no matter what. She whispered to me, "Thank you so much for being so good to me. In times of need, you are here with me." She held my hand and squeezed it gently. "Of course, we are family. I know your mother and brother cannot come today because they're in the States, but don't worry. I'm here to let you know that you are not alone." She kissed my cheeks and bid me goodbye as she left the venue. I missed my mother and brother. How I wish they are here with me today. I always wanted to be comforted by them because they are the closest to my heart and they understand me better. My brother works in New York as a computer scientist while my mother lives with him and owns a small cafe in downtown New York. They weren't able to come because my brother has a very important project from a big client. They always wanted the two of us to move to the US, but we insisted on building our family here in our country, and now I am all alone with no family close to run to. I appreciate the support they gave to me. It means a lot. I could still feel my body shaking as I sat down and slowly accepted the truth that my husband is gone already. While I was staring at my husband's grave, I could see my mother in law, Karen, approaching from my peripheral vision. She approached me with a sorrowful expression, but I'm not a fool not to notice a hint of insincerity in her eyes. She put on a fake smile and flashed it at me. She is a great pretender. "Sarah, dear, I am sorry for your loss. John was a good man. My son was everything to me, and until now my heart breaks for his death. I love him so much." I want to leave her talking to herself because I couldn't take all the fake words coming out of her mouth. Everything she was saying was a lie. Because if she did care and love her son, then John would have been alive. I could still remember the many times that we tried to reach out to her to ask for financial and moral help for John's operations. But she was too arrogant and proud to help us just because they were not okay. And the reason for the argument? Because John decided that we should move out of their house, and my mother-in-law was so mad about it. She felt that I was the one who influenced him by the sudden decision, when in fact her shitty attitude and bad treatments towards me and my husband were the main reasons why we got out of the house. I smiled faintly. "Thank you, Karen. Your kind words mean a lot." She just gave me another fake smile while her daughter, my sister-in-law Emily, joined us, and just like her mother, she wore a sympathetic facade. "Danica, we are devastated by John's passing. Is there anything we can do to help? Please don't hesitate to ask." I couldn't stand her fakeness. She is just the same as her mother. We asked for financial assistance from her, but she just ignored us. And, on top of all that, I never saw the two of them mourn or even shed a tear during the entire funeral. They're so heartless. "I just have to put up with their nonsense," I noted in response. Thank you, Emily. I'll keep that in mind." After Karen and Emily walked away, I had a sudden feeling about them, an uneasy one. I have a gut feeling that they will do something bad. My suspicions were aroused by their behavior. I saw the two of them stay in the corner, whispering to each other. I was so busy entertaining the other guests, tending to their needs, all the while composing myself, containing every sudden burst of emotion. But the two of them drew my vision. That is why I decided to listen in on their conversation. I stealthily moved closer to where Karen and Emily stood, as they whispered to each other. They were so invested in their conversation that they were not able to notice me eavesdropping. "Once Danica is out of the picture, we will have access to all their money. It will be a life of luxury for us." My eyes widened as I heard what my mother-in-law said. My sister-in-law chuckled. Oh God, I can't wait. Sarah will be left with nothing, and we will enjoy every bit of her misery. We will get everything that John worked hard for because we deserve it all. He's my son and he's your brother. We have all the rights to his money and properties. Well, it's his hard earned money anyway. That girl was just useless and dumb, a freeloader. My mother in law laughed and even mocked my face. So, Mom, how can we even have the money? I know she won't give it to us. I know the password of your brother's phone, and he hates depositing his money in the bag. I have access to his e-wallet. Emily smiled mischievously, as if all of their plans were going well. My heart sank as I heard their wicked plan. So, all this time they are just trying to wait for my husband's death and took advantage of everything that he worked hard for? They are evils. And what did they say? I am a freeloader? I was never dependent on my husband when it comes to money because I built myself independently. I was so mad. Anger and determination filled my heart. Now that I'm fully aware of their true intentions, I try to maintain my composure. I took a deep breath, knowing that I must confront them and seek justice when the time is right. With that, as soon as I got back to our house, I checked all of our e-wallets. I transferred all the money to our bank account because I was confident that they can't access it. On top of that, I deposited every last physical cash that I have. I have to think faster and smarter than them. I decided to sleep safe and sound that night. I have secured everything and I know that I will wake up the next morning still with our hard-earned money. The next day I woke up very early, and the very first thing I did was to check my account. My hand shakes so hard as I was having a hard time logging onto my account. What is happening? I panicked so hard when I already tried many times to log into my account, but still I cannot. I tried logging in to other devices, but there was no chance. I sat at my computer desk with my face filled with determination and a touch of fear. I'm pretty sure that I have secured my account last night. Negative thoughts have filled my head already. No, 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 this can't be. I have been digging into our financial records, trying to make sense of the sudden disappearance of our money. It's impossible that they will know that I have transferred all the money to our bank account. No, it can't be. I am so weak. Everything is draining me. My fingers tremble furiously on the keyboard, trying to find any evidence of a breach. Suddenly, a window pops up on my screen, displaying a message, "Access denied. You entered your old password. You can set a new one after 30 days since you changed it 4 hours ago." I place my palms flat to my face. They hacked my account? Out of anger and fear, my eyes finally sent tears down my cheeks. I cried so hard and bawled my eyes out. I couldn't handle burying my husband and losing everything we earned in 2 days. Before anything else, I heard a loud crash at my front door. I rushed there and saw my mother-in-law and sister-in-law crashing into my house. "What are you doing?" Karen laughed and Emily followed her. "Well, we know that you already know that we have all the money." "Yes, dear, and I'm so sorry to break this to you, but we are also going to take this house." Emily chuckled and sat on our couch, feeling it. "Ah, yes, this will be mine." Karen smiled at her and searched the entire living room, marking every object her hands could lie on and claiming it as hers. "Please, why are you doing this to me? Give me back our money." "Aw, poor girl, why would we do that?" Because of you, my son is dead. I was shocked by her accusations. What is she talking about? That is complete nonsense. That is not true. I was with him through thick and thin, while the two of you were ignoring our cry for help. Can you remember those times when I knocked at your door asking for help for your son, and you just throw me away like I was nothing? You were cruel, and because of your cruelty, John died. And thank the gods because he can now rest and not suffer from your arrogance. My mother in law slapped me so hard that I couldn't even feel the pain. My sister in law grabbed my hair and pushed me to the floor. You have no right to talk to me like that, she shouted. I was only saying the truth. After I replied, Emily kicked me and pulled my hair up. Her face was so angry that she could throw a fist at me anytime. You are silly, girl. You deserve to be alone in this world. You're a disgrace and a mess. That's why my brother left you. She dragged me until we reached outside. She threw me to the ground and pointed a finger at me. Do not come back to this house ever again. This is ours now, and you have no right to drag us out of here. Go away and fix your broken life, you idiot. She shut the door so hard. Her shouts were so loud that our neighbors went out of their houses just to see the commotion. I could see them whispering to each other, judging me. I don't know what to do anymore. I am so devastated. I wish my husband was here with me, protecting me. My tears fell from my eyes as I remembered my husband. No one would ever dare to hurt me. I got up on my knees and the pain from my fall was so evident. But I tried my best to walk and leave this horrible place. I have nothing with me. I have no phone nor a single cent. I was so afraid and lost. I don't know where to go. Until I saw a telephone booth and I remembered my brother's number. I was so lucky that the telephone booth was able to make calls internationally for free. I dialed his number and in just a few rings he picked it up. Hello, this is Ryo. Who is this? Ryo. Oh my god, it's me, Danica. I couldn't control my emotions anymore, which is why I burst into tears. Donnie, hello? What happened? Why are you calling from this number? Are you alright? Please help me. My mother and sister-in-law took over our house and stole all our money by hacking through my bank account. Please help me. No way. Where are you right now? I'm on the streets. I don't know where to go. I don't have any money. Alright, describe to me the place. I will call Louis and she will come to pick you up. Do you understand me? Yes. I explained to him where I was in detail, my current location and landmarks. He promised me that Louise will be here in just a few minutes. I waited there for almost 30 minutes. I was out in the sun and I was so weak. Anytime soon I could collapse and be unconscious. But hope arose when I saw Louise pulling over. She rushed towards me and as soon as her arms met mine, I passed out. I woke up to the sight of Louise placing a blanket on me. What happened? You passed out. Just stay there and do not worry. As soon as you have recovered, we'll talk about what happened. I followed what she said. I ate my meal and took my medicine. And by the time I was feeling all right, I told Louise everything while my brother was on FaceTime. As I was explaining everything to them, my brother was busy working on his computer until he let out a huge gasp. This is not possible. What is it? They were my client. I forced myself to stand up from the bed, but Louise stopped me. How? I was so confused. They didn't use their real names, and everything you said seems so familiar to me. That's why I checked it immediately. And I was right. They're your mother and sister-in-law. They just told me to repair a system, and I didn't know that system was connected to your bank account. This is all my fault. Rio, no. You were also a victim. We have to seek revenge. We have to teach them a lesson. I'm with you, Danny. They deserve to taste their own medicine. They're so cruel, and people like them don't have to get away with no punishment. But the only thing we need is the thing that we don't have right now, proof. Do not worry, I'm on it. I have confidence in my brother, and I know that we will succeed in exposing them. He is a computer scientist after all. 2 days have passed and we were working diligently to find evidence. I was working with Luis while my brother works on the other side of the screen. We video call ourselves every time to keep track of our progress. My brother was sitting in front of his computer, surrounded by multiple screens displaying intricate lines of code. He furiously types, digging deeper into the evidence he collected against Karen and Emily. Rayo, any progress? I asked him while looking at him through my laptop screen. He nodded. Yes, Danny, I've gathered substantial evidence. I've also managed to access their email accounts and found conversations discussing their plans to steal the money. He turned to the monitor to face me. He showed me his tablet, revealing incriminating emails and financial transactions of Emily and Karen. I was so astonished by my brother's work. They thought they could get away with this. Not if we have anything to say about it. I took a deep breath. My resolve is now growing stronger. We need to expose them, Rio. Let's go public with the evidence and make sure the world knows what they have done. Later that night, Rio, Luis, and I talked, crafting a plan to expose Karen and Emily's crime. We created a compelling message to accompany the evidence, aiming to garner public attention and support. Alright, Donnie, we're ready. I'll post their faces and the evidence on social media, along with a detailed account of what they have done. We can do this. I'm still nervous about what we are going to do. Are you sure about this, Rio? It's a big step, and it might have consequences. I'm sure, Donica. We can't let them get away with it. We need to raise awareness, bring attention to their action, and seek justice. After we laid out our concrete plan, we slept that night with ease because tomorrow is going to be a big day. The next day, Luis and I went to a coffee shop and sat at a corner table, our eyes glued to our phones. Our plan has been set in motion, and we anxiously wait for the impact. What if nobody pays attention, Luis? What if they brush it off as just another scandal? I am so nervous. Don't worry, Danny. We have enlisted the help of a few friends who have influential social media accounts. They will amplify your message, and I'm confident it will spread like wildfire. The song playing on the TV from the coffee shop switched to breaking news. We sat in front of the TV. Our phones were buzzing incessantly. The news anchor's reports on the scandal showcasing the evidence and the faces of Karen and Emily. In a shocking turn of events, a widow's mother-in-law and sister-in-law have been exposed for allegedly hacking into the deceased couple's bank account. The evidence shared on social media has gone viral, prompting outrage from the public. Little did we know that everything has already been leaked online and gone viral. Luis and I exchanged glances, our eyes filled with a mix of relief and satisfaction. We did it! They can't hide anymore! I received a call from the local police station. The officer said that my mother and sister-in-law were brought into custody at the station. Everything was so fast-paced that the TV anchor called on the TV reporter who was at the police station. Karen and Emily were shown being escorted into police station, their faces filled with shock and disbelief. The media frenzy surrounding their arrest was intense. Miss Karen, how do you respond to the accusations? Do you have anything to say? Karen remained silent, her gaze fixed on the ground. Emily was overwhelmed, and by the looks of it, they were unable to comprehend the consequences of their actions. As I went home, I spoke to my brother. They're finally facing the consequences, Donnie. Thank you for your help. That is all for you. And lots of people also helped us, the lawyer and police officer that arrested them. A trial will begin shortly, and I know you will do well in fighting for your rights and justice. I smiled at him, and after a few seconds, someone came near Ryo from the other side of the screen, and it was my mother. I cried so hard as soon as I saw her. Now, I'm content with my life. As much as I want my husband to be here with me, I think my independence would bring me so much room for growth and healing.